Hey guys, Drummer JMM here. I just got back from the Indy Regional. I went 5-3 and placed 42nd out of 151. They took the top 24. There was one 5-3 that placed 24th. I guess he had some really good matchups and tiebreakers. I had a couple decent ones. One of my losses placed second. One of my losses placed 11th. And I forgot the name of the other guy, so I couldn't look him up. So I don't know where my third loss ended up. By the fact that I placed 42nd, my assumption is he dropped or lost out after beating me. One of the two. My first round of the day was against Danny Freeman. I've had to play against him quite a few times. Kind of pretty good friends with him. He's playing Worms. You might recognize the name. He topped 4 at Columbus a couple weeks ago using the same deck, so it's by no means a bad deck to lose to. It didn't help that I opened double alias, no support, just nothing. Those consistency issues plagued me until game 3 of round 4, and then I'll explain how I got screwed over there. Game 2, I played against Straight Chaos. I 2-0'd him. Round 3 was Sabres. And a lot of people remember a couple formats ago where Sabres would use Hamster, and they would use Debris Dragon and Enemy Controller to abuse their Dark Souls. Well, this guy's tech choice, instead of the Debris or the Enemy Controllers or anything, was Decree and Creature Swaps. And he would give me his Embers Blade and then run it over with Full Helm Knight. And then special off of both of them. And get some pretty ridiculous plays going. Game 2, I scooped to him when he opened Set Pashul. Obviously, I ran into it. Nothing happened. He summoned Full Helm, went into Beast, ended his turn. I drew. He flipped Decree. And then Game 3, I had absolutely nothing. He had 2 spells in his grave. I think it was like Duality and an MST. I DD crowed his Duality so I could get a Dark Engrave and play Envoy, because that was the only play I had. It was that bad. And that actually gave me control of the game for like 2 turns. Until he ended up drawing into another Embers Blade and then creature swapping it to me for the Gores that I had dropped on him before summoning the BLS. And then ended up going into Trish. So round 4, I also lost. It was Drockville. Shockingly, he never exceeded once against me in our entire matchup. In game 3 was the first time all day I had been drawing traps. I actually had a Solemn Warning and a compulsory set. So compared to my last 3.5 rounds, going in this game 3, I was actually very happy with the position I was in. And he flipped Decree, so now I have 2 locked backfield. And then I proceeded to draw 4 traps in a row with Gores. I went out and won the rest of the day against Zombies, Karkuri, TG Agents, and Tengu Plant. The deck that I played was only a couple cards different between each of the main side and extra deck, so I'll go over them really fast here. I played the Stratos, Triple Alias, Double Thunder King, Warrior Lady, Honest, Breaker, Kaiku, and Doomcow. This is definitely a phenomenal trio. I love playing these one-ofs like that. 2 Valor, DD Crow. I did play 41 cards today, and the 41st card was Gores. I only play 8 traps. None of them stay on the field. So Gores isn't that big a problem of not being able to drop. But my question between trying to find room for him and playing him as 41st or playing him at all, the question I got asked was, well, do you lose to Gores? Well, yeah, I think a lot of us can lose if our opponent drops Gores in the right situations. So keep that in mind. If there's a card you're thinking about playing and not sure whether you want to main it or not, ask yourself if you lose to it. If the answer to that question is yes, you should probably play it. And then I played a Black Luster Soldier. Similar to the last regional that I went to, he was not a game changer for anything all day long. I think I only summoned him 4 times. I removed twice and never attacked, because the other times I knew they had Mirror Force and Deep Prison set. So I just used them as a wall so they couldn't attack over. We played Triple Duality, Rhoda, E-Call, Double Spark, Triple Miracle Fusion. Shockingly, this was a problem all day today. I typically side out of the third one when I'm sort of perfecting the stun element I'm using against whatever particular deck I'm facing. But I would side out the third one and then dead draw the first two in like my opening hand, or the two I have left in my opening hand, and not be able to use them. I had problems with getting a hero or keeping heroes in grave all day long. I think I only fused 6 or 7 times all day. Half of those, Shining was only at 29, because I didn't even have 2 heroes to use for it. So I don't know what the deal was today, but Miracle was just not liking me. Double Typhoon, Heavy, Book, Mind Control, Dark Hole, Reborn, Solemn, Double Warning, Compulse, Mirror Force, Double Deep Prison, and Trap Dust Shoot. My side deck, we had T-King, third T-King, and a second Doomcow. I sided these in a lot all day. I was advised to side out my second Kaiku and my Allied Justice Cycle Reader, which is the double Crow for light monsters, to play double Cyber Dragon. Instead, I went ahead and put in the one Cyber Dragon, but I kept the Kaiku. It didn't matter because I didn't side into either of them all day. Sort of my thought. I only sided out of the main Kaiku once, but I never really needed to have the second one. So he could possibly become a free space in my extra, or in my side. And being that I never played any high meta, I never played against Tour Guide or any of the full-out agent builds like that at all day. So I never had, or, I only played against plants once, and it wasn't Tour Guide plants, it was just Tengu plants. He was still a very good player, and the deck did what it was supposed to. But without the Tour Guides, it doesn't flow as fast. When that version would typically side into the stun element, where since he didn't have the Tour Guide options, he wasn't able to side out as much for that stun element, so he kept it the plant element. So I wasn't having Doom Cows or Thunder King sided in against me, which is where the Cyber Dragon would have been a very good choice to side in. So I didn't get to use him, but it wasn't that he was a bad choice. I played double Gemini up. Again, I never played Dark World, so this card didn't help me. But I'm starting to think Dark World is either they're going to sack you and win, or I'm going to be able to control them regardless. It's going to be one extreme or the other. So with that being said, I'm tempted to take these out for something more stable, like a third DD Crow and a Leeching the Light or something. So they may they may also be out. I did play the second Crow, which got sided a lot, and then I played double Fossil Dyna. I played double Super Poly that I never used all day. The thought process here was Nova Master because of Zen Mains and Lagia, but I never sided into them all day, so I obviously never got to use them. Double Bottomless and double Chain Disappearance. I only sided this in twice. I didn't see it against Sabers. I saw it against the TG Agent player, and I was able to Chain Disappearance's TG Striker, so he lost one of his main tuners. But that was that. As for the extra, we got 2 Shining, 1-0. Since I took out the Snowman Eater, I had no main target for it, so just the one. Tornado, double Nova Master that I still didn't get to use. Gaia, Chimera Tech, Catastor, Bryo, Black Rose, Scrap, Stardust, and Utopia. There was about, we'll say 1.5 times over the course of the day that I kind of wish I had a second Utopia to use. But I used Shining just a couple times, and half the time he was only a 29 because I wasn't able to really abuse him. And then Utopia. These 2 alone could have been the only 2 cards in my extra deck, and it would have made no difference on the day because these other 13 cards never saw play. So anyways, that's how the deck played out. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.